Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Wildermyth, Monarchs Under the Mountain, as today we push on towards the end of Chapter 2. Though, of course, before we do that, we've got this small matter of an impending incursion to deal with. But I feel like last time around we actually outlined a pretty good idea of how we're going to handle this, so we'll just knock that out real quick and then we can get back to exploring. That said, we are still split over 2 tiles, so the first thing we should do is regroup, get these tiles secured. Belt of Power! Pretty much useless to our casters, but useful for everyone else, so we will toss that to Nolan. Yeah. As a lightning caster, he benefits from both potency and damage. And we'll definitely need to crank his damage output for some of the later foes. The casters in particular. Defense is up. Not fast enough. Alright, yeah, we'd better clear this one manually. We can't pick up our 6th while they're attacking Lefefeld. The Deepists have come. Again. How should the defenders respond this time? Oh boy, the odds aren't really in our favor this time. But I guess we'll charge. The great cry they share, the strength of standing side by side, fills them with defiant courage. They charge! Haste and courage, that's plus speed and plus damage output. Enemy assortment's not too bad. Starting position is pretty well secured. Mushrock's just outside the barricade, but I'm sure we've got more out of sight. Let's get eyes on. A single chosen. Huh. Really thought there'd be more lurking just around the corner. Alright, let's take out the Mushrocks. There we go. Slingers coming in on the left. And a Father Fungus dead ahead. Doesn't really change our plans, though. Mushrocks is out. Aaron's untouchable. Let's trim the Slinger. Nice hit. Oh, can't quite get far enough. Alright. Actually, if we crack that side door, Telic might... That's risky. We don't know what else might be tucked around that corner. Yeah, okay, let's go for it. Oh, well. Arrows! Perfect. Let's trim the Chosen. Ooh, Urkelbits. Not bad. I am curious to see if Urkelbits will actually scale as we get later into the campaign. That does tend to be the problem with those sorts of tag-alongs. Unfortunately, they become completely trivial by the time you get past Chapter 3 or so, since they just don't keep up with the enemy growth. Trim armor. Or not. Now Aaron's untouchable in case we can't finish off Father Fungus. Though there's no one else in sight, so I guess we really can just dogpile this guy. Oh, and I guess that's that. We've got a bunch of mooks coming from behind. And Father Fungus. But no sign of the Chosen. Let's stack the odds. Quiver in fear. And bail out. That should do it for the mooks. Now for Father Fungus. A shame. He seemed like a fun guy. Another caster. But no visual. We do have these guys horning in. All right, come on now. Thank you. Reinforcement zones are gone. So that means we've got, what? Chosen and one more Father Fungus? So they must be out back. Yep, there we go. Hey, nice. Telek, I think that's kill number 2 for you. Kind of makes me wish I could actually recruit you. You know, if they actually had special events that triggered after incursion battles, it might encourage the players to fight them manually more often. Under the current system, it really behooves the player to usually just let them burn themselves out. Otherwise, you're taking needless risk and empowering the enemies for no substantial reward, aside from, of course, reducing the amount of collateral damage they can inflict before they burn out. But adding some RNG into the mix, some sort of specialized events, specialized rewards that have a chance of popping, could definitely encourage the player to take a more direct role in defending their territories, as opposed to just passively arranging defenses and trying to avoid them. With, you know, potentially recruiting a defender being just one of many possible results. And we're done. No level ups. Deepists get their Merc Mother. That's a high priority caster unit. We'll have to watch out for those. And because it was a manual incursion, no loot. Which is a bummer, but not a huge deal. The other one will never make it past the threshery. Oh, double slingers. I don't like that. But I can live with the rest of these. Lovely. Incursions are done. Next batch is 230 days out. Minimal rebuilding required. Let's grab our 6th. Oh, and this is a story event, so let me save real quick. Oh, it has to be a new hero. Okay, that changes the math a little. Let's hit the pause button. I'll check out the waiting list, and we will be right back. And we're back with our newest member, Gaia, the snarky hothead. Basically, I figured we already had 2 hunters and 2 mystics, so warrior seemed the logical route to go, and she was the next one on the list. Gaia was found as an infant, squalling in a basket in the river shallows. The geezers who found her raised her as their own. She grew fond of the wheezing has-beens who frequented the saloons of Gladville. Their stories of heroism only got better as empty cups slammed tabletops, ever flowing full again. She claimed to seek only justice. Justice, of course, was a tricky word to pin down. And she is lucky, curious, and mysterious. Oh, and of course the other reason I went warrior with her is because warriors are the most efficient at construction or building defenses. Homes divided. That's the last family. Everyone says the same thing, seems like. They're wasting our time while we're risking our lives. Household to household, accounts abound of folks young and old abandoning their families to follow some splendid, eloquent priest. But questions of any death prove fruitless. It's either that they don't know where the people are going, or they're too frightened to say. Blah. You're the ones asking about the cultists, aren't you? Have we spoken to her yet? I'm Gaia. I'm from here. You want to know why folks won't give you all the facts? I suppose you'll tell us? Depends. You're not cowards, are you? You plan on doing something about the trouble? That's why we're here. Alright, well... The thing with this town, there was always a lot of pride. Our kind of folk are strong, wise, caked in good earth, and rich in laughter. That's the Lefefeld I grew up in. I was a kid, and I knew it would last forever. Bonfires in the autumn, spring dances, feasts at wintertide and midsummer. And, anyway. Meh. Times got tougher. About 6 or 7 years ago, animals started disappearing. Homesteads on the outskirts burned. People got sick for no reason. And food died in the fields. Distrust. Deceit. For 6 years. That's what I remember. So when this preaching woman comes through, she seems to have all the answers. Knows every ailment and how to treat it. She's a savior. And folks, especially young folks, they want to follow her. And we're all too proud to say anything, do anything. We see what's happening, but we don't want to admit to ourselves that we've been taken for fools. So how do we find them? Set things right. I've got a good idea where they went. Take me with you and I'll show you the way. I'll be good in a fight, I know I will. Teach me and I'll outpace you. What do you think? No one's ever suffered from more help, have they? Bit of a loaded question. But welcome aboard, Gaia, who will of course be a warrior. Oh, that's... I can't say I'm really crazy about any of these options, but... You know, I usually neglect Blood Rage. I don't like to plan around my characters getting hurt. But let's give it a shot. It does seem fitting for this particular character. Worst case scenario, we can always train her out of it in the next life. Oh, nice. She's already in. No actual training required. Okay, so our new objective is to assault Green Echo Altar. Let's get the A Squad back on exploration. We'll have them clear tiles. And then Gaia will follow behind, putting up defenses as she goes. Next incursion's 140 days out, so we'll try to control which tiles it can come from. We'll push it back to the riverbank, I think. Trusty Stand. Low Crick Dam. Drifters. We're getting close, and I'm not up for any fighting tonight. How about we pack it in? That clearing looks just fine. Huh. Hello there. Well, that is slightly peculiar. Everybody saw that, right? Yeah. Good or bad? Does that make it more or less concerning? I don't know, they seemed harmless. So, camp? After seeing that? Wait, are you joking? I have trouble telling if your breath's joking. Later. I can't believe she wasn't joking. Fire's done. Aren't you going to sleep? Someone should stay awake, in case those green drifters return. Suit yourself. You know, it's funny because I was actually thinking about the whole situation with Yvreth being, I guess, mad at Random, even though he literally sacrificed his health to save her life. But, you know, it does kind of make sense. I mean, obviously, I'm headcanoning here because this is beyond the scopes of what's actually been explicitly explained in the narrative. But yeah, I mean, if you owe that kind of unpayable debt to someone, it would definitely wear on you pretty quickly. She would probably feel guilty that he made that kind of sacrifice to help her, especially in a way where she couldn't weigh in, she couldn't object to it. She was obviously a very selfless person as well. She literally gave her life to try to save her father, only for it all to go sideways and for it to cost her both her father and most of her brother's life. And now she comes back, everything's different. And, you know, she owes it all to this guy who's a constant reminder of her failures. So yeah, it would be a tough situation. The rivalry kind of makes sense. That'd be a lot to work through. My messengers do not lie. Mortals sleep within my wood. Is that bad? There is no good or bad, only law. And law states that a mortal who sleeps in this place shall bear my mark. As they sleep within my realm, I may sleep within theirs. I knew something was off. I knew it, and... Okay, so Sylvan transformation on either Random or Yvreth. I think Random. I will not flinch. Flinch. Is that it? Am I marked? That's not so bad. There is no good or bad. Only law. The next morning. And then I got marked by the spirit. So I believe you have something to say to me. Come on. Okay, fine. Your hair looks good. Happy now? Well, it's something. Oh, and also, now we're apparently fighting a pile of Morthagi. Why not? So what did that actually get us? Ooh, spirit. We'll try to grab that too. Let's see. Spirit marked. Sylvan. Green pulses through Random's face and hair. +5 retirement age. But -5 tenacity, which... yeah, that's understandable. I mean, he just kind of rolled over to its demand. Oh man, it'd be great if that choice actually just bumped him back into Act 3. I guess we'll find out once this fight's over. Alright, so what are we doing here? We've got 2 Spectics, a Watchman, and then a Weldling off in the corner there. Watchman's our biggest threat. Let's whittle it down. Oh, I should have moved Nolan up first. Oh, went too far, but that's fine. Bunny can finish it. I would like to have her grab that spirit, but that'll have to wait. Hey, there we go. And we've got to block in that Weldling. Our guys are all clustered up. We can't have it breathing fire on us. No, Urkelbits, his weary bones. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's finish these guys off. Push up to the door. Welding's out. Let's trim the Spectic. Worth a shot. If we had stunned it, we could have just focused on repositioning. But that works too. Might as well finish you off. I mean, I could have just waited for the poison, but why take the chance? Someone knows we're here. And Urkelbits can open doors. Fantastic. He truly is an advanced Morthagi. Sommelier, Thatchby. let's gun it for the spirit. This is risky, but I think we're okay. Watchman. Hey, little buddy. I need you on staff. Nice, nice. That's a pretty decent upgrade. Let's just hope we don't end up paying for it. Let's drop this thing. Aaron's untouchable. On guard. And Nolan on Batchby duty. Oh, I don't like that. Oh. Oh, thank goodness. Well done, Nolan. That could have been a disaster. Bunny, I'm going to need you to fall back just slightly. We want to clear the left, but we also need to contain the Batchby. Oh, nice. Pinned. Well, that makes it slightly easier. Welding out. No such luck on the sommelier. Lockdown Batchby. Finish sommelier. Whittle down the Watchman. Fantastic. Let's wrap this up. Oof, that warding. Watchman out. And that's the Batchby. Oh, Rogue. That's a good one. I wonder if that would trigger off DOTs. I don't recall if it does. Yeah, let's give it a shot. We also pulled a bear strength necklace, plus damage. We'll toss that to Aaron. He could use more damage. Don't lose heart. Well fought, Aaron. Not that I expected anything less. Just want you to know I appreciate you. You start to wonder if it's worth it. All this fighting. Oh, you do? There's a fire in me. Always was one. But more often these days, it's flickering. It feels like... The point, I suppose, is that someone has to do it. The danger won't stop just because we're tired of dealing with it. We've got to face it each time. I know you know that. Don't lose heart. That's interesting. That is consistent with what he told that hillfolk back at the Stormaltar, the Stormwell. He told him that he had sacrificed a potentially better life he would never know in exchange for a life of pushing back the darkness. Because someone has to do it, so that everyone else can go on living their more normal lives. Yeah, and Random will still be retiring at the end of this chapter. That's a shame, but it was worth a shot. That does mean, however, there's not much point in giving him accessories at this point. Those all get wiped between campaigns. And what are we at? 30 minutes? 35? Yeah, we've got time for one more. Double slingers, armored slingers, and armored chosen, triple deepest upgrade. I'm not too worried about the chosen because they have 0 armor by default, so we'll let that go. I think we'll just cancel the double slingers. Hopefully that won't come back to bite us. I just don't want to keep spending all our legacy points, you know? The Clockwork Tower. Nolan, what's the situation up ahead? You have to see this for yourself. Come with me. They're living side by side with Morthagi. Hello, friends. Whoa. Ah. Isn't the view from here great? You can see everything for miles around. Say, you two look tired and hungry. Why don't you all come on down and join us for dinner? We do a huge communal feast every night, and there's always plenty. Sure. Thanks. Hi, friends. Welcome to Double Bide. Hi. Thanks. Okay, that's just creepy. Split up. Enjoy the party, but stay on guard. This feels... off. Later. Well, something weird is going on. Everyone is just so happy. Isn't that a good thing? I just saw a woman cut herself by mistake, and everyone just laughed, including her. Maybe it's something in the food. Oh, come on, I just finished eating. Did you two check that out yet? What is it? No clue, but it looks like some sort of energy is flowing in and out of it. Welcome, strangers. I see you found the Merrymaker. What does it do? Why, it provides the townsfolk with unlimited happiness. Okay, at what cost? Oh, nothing big. Just a tiny bit of their life essence, siphoned off to power the machines. Now then, don't look so horrified. They all knew the price going in. I have signed contracts. Let me guess. Signed in blood. Ooh, this is a... Have we done this one? I mean, I've obviously seen this one in my for fun runs, but I'm not sure if we've done this in the series. But if we have, my normal go-to is to try to shut it down. So, you know, I mean, they made this choice, and free happiness plus defenders on their village in troubling times. That seems like a pretty good deal. We'll let it pass. We'll let it slide and see if anything comes of it. I'm not sure I've ever actually tried that in my for fun runs, so I am curious to see if it at least gives us a tiding I've never seen before. That aside, I feel like the Morthagi are a much more incidental threat in this particular continuity. You know, obviously in the Enduring War campaign, it made a lot more sense to eradicate Morthagi wherever we encountered them, but here they may actually just be weird but legitimate tools. Things that just help with everyday life despite being a bit macabre. They chose this. It's not up to us to interfere. Bye, friends. Come again someday. Oh, and hey, free outpost. Well, not free per se, but so cheap it might as well be free. Not that we really need hide or fabrics, but I guess we'll go for hides. We could theoretically use those to upgrade our armor. Alright, folks, we do not have time for another encounter, but I would like to see where this incursion's going, so we'll just secure these tiles, run the clock down a bit. You know what? Let's go ahead and prep Green EgonAlter for approach as well. We're obviously not going to hit it, but patrolling it would prevent incursions from spawning there. Oh, well, that really kind of defeats the purpose of what I just did. But that's fine, I guess. Alright, Incursion, where are you coming from? Oh, that's not bad at all. That'll punch through Kermore Threshery, then burn out on Jasper Mill. Easy to fix. Alright, folks, I think we're at a good place to call it. 3 tiles left to clear, a bridge we have to build, and Green EgonAlter. The Incursion will basically take care of itself, so aside from some rebuilding, we don't really have to worry about that. We'll hit the pause button for now, but we will pick up here next time, as we push on to the end of Chapter 2. A few more random encounters for the road. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Dragon Matrix 7, Revenant, Alois, Drakiith, Theory V23, EgonAlter, Emile, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Rowan Church, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.